Sir from Colonel's Academy, and we'll be continuing with the series of our lecture that is going on of the chapter that is transition elements and inner transition elements. So हमने अभी तक बहुत कुछ देख लिया है इस चैप्टर में. अभी हम जो आगे के टॉपिक्स देखने वाले हैं that is very very important, that is the magnetic properties of d block elements. Now dear students, इसमें थोड़ा सा फिजिक्स का भी इम्पोर्टेंस आ जाता है. थोड़ा सा फिजिक्स में हम लोगों ने जो देखा हुआ है डायमैग्नेटिज्म, पैरामैग्नेटिज्म एंड फेरोमैग्नेटिज्म, these topics are also included in this. Okay, so I would like to suggest you all कि once you revise your topics of physics as well, जैसे what is magnetic dipole, what is magnetic dipole moment, how does a charged body create a magnetic field, how does a charged body make an electric field. So when you're talking about a nucleus here inside the atom, so when you're talking about nucleus, nucleus में है proton, nucleus में है neutron, and outside in the orbits है electron. So all these are charged particles. Electrons and protons are charged particles. So when you're talking about the electrons outside, so electron एक negatively charged particle है जो कि मतलब rotate भी कर रहा है, जो कि revolve भी कर रहा है. So because of its rotation, because of its revolution, and as a charged body is in motion, it gives rise to magnetic properties. That is what we'll be seeing in this topic right now. So the compounds of the transition metals exhibit magnetic properties due to the unpaired electrons present in their atoms or ions. So first of all, पहले तो basics हम देखेंगे बराबर के. अभी अभी मैंने बोला कि when you're talking about a charged particle, when a charged particle is in motion, it gives rise to a magnetic field. So it depends upon the direction of its motion as well, कि वो कौन से डायरेक्शन में स्पिन कर रहा है, whether it is rotating in the clockwise direction or whether it is rotating in an anti-clockwise direction. Now in this point you must notice that there is a word unpaired electrons. Now why unpaired electrons? Because when you're talking about the paired electron, अगर एक इलेक्ट्रॉन पेयर्ड होगा तो वो पेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन में से एक क्लॉकवाइज घूमेगा, एक एंटी क्लॉकवाइज घूमेगा, and their magnetic moments gets cancelled and it gives rise to dimagnetism. Okay, so when you're talking about unpaired electron gives rise to what? It gives rise to the magnetic properties. So when a magnetic field is applied, substances which are attracted towards the applied magnetic field are called paramagnetic. Now there are three types of substances in physics depending upon their magnetism. That is what? That is paramagnetic, diamagnetic and ferromagnetic. So what are paramagnetic? अगर मेरा एक सब्सटेंस बराबर जब मैंने मैग्नेटिक फील्ड अप्लाई किया हो एंड वो अट्रैक्ट होता है उसके तरफ, वीकली अट्रैक्ट होता है, तो उसको हम लोग बोलते हैं पैरामैग्नेटिक. While the ones which are repelled are called as diamagnetic, and the substances which are attracted very strongly are called as ferromagnetic substances. Now why does this happen? We'll be seeing in the next slide as well. तो सबसे पहले ये तीनों प्रॉपर्टीज आप जान लीजिए. पहला है फेरोमैग्नेटिज्म. So substances which are strongly attracted by a magnet, so example iron, cobalt, nickel, gadolinium, dysprosium, etc. Gadolinium, dysprosium are inner transition elements. Iron, cobalt, nickel are transition elements. So here you can see the lines of force tend to crowd into the specimen. So here the lines of force are getting attracted towards the magnet. Paramagnetic, which are feebly, that is weakly attracted by the magnet, example aluminium, chromium. You can see chromium is a transition element, platinum is a transition element, so they are weakly attracted towards the magnet. And now we come across diamagnetic substances. So diamagnetic substances are not attracted towards the magnet, they are repelled. So elements like copper, gold, silver, mercury, which are transition elements, are repelled by the magnet. So they are diamagnetic. Why? Because we very well know even in copper, most of the electrons are paired. That is why it is diamagnetic. So this is the basics of magnetism. See, this is a proton, as you can see in the slide. Proton जो है वो एक spin हो रहा है. It is a charged body. So when it is spinning, when it is rotating, it creates a magnetic dipole. So ये magnetism generate होता है. एक उसका जो end है वो north pole बन जाता है, एक उसका end जो है वो south pole बन जाता है, and एक magnetic dipole moment generate होता है. Now this is a textual thing. Paramagnetism and ferromagnetism arises due to the presence of unpaired electrons in a species. When all the electron spins are paired, the compound becomes diamagnetic because their magnetic moments gets cancelled because they are rotating or they are spinning in their opposite directions, clockwise and anti-clockwise. तो unpaired electron होगा तो ही magnetism observe होगा, नहीं तो नहीं. Now, among the transition metals, elements like iron, cobalt, nickel are ferromagnetic. They are strongly attracted towards the magnet. When magnetic field is applied externally, all the unpaired electrons in these metals and their compounds align in the direction of the applied magnetic field. Align in the direction मतलब उन लोग अपने आप को orient कर देते हैं magnetic field के direction में. So we'll see now the difference between paramagnetism and ferromagnetism. So when the magnetic field is absent, they are oriented randomly in different directions. In the presence of the magnetic field, as you can observe, they are oriented in a particular direction. But can you see, some of the electrons are still not. Some of the electrons are still not oriented in the same direction. ठीक है, सारे के सारे electrons वो same direction में orient नहीं हुए हैं. That is paramagnetism. Now in ferromagnetism, starting with definitely electrons are oriented in different direction. But when a magnetic field is applied, all get oriented in a single direction. And that gives rise to strong magnetic effect. So paramagnetism and ferromagnetism में ये difference है. Due to this, the magnetic susceptibility is enhanced is increased. These metals can be magnetized, that is, they acquire permanent magnetic moment. So when you're talking about elements like iron, cobalt, nickel, अगर है तो आप इनको by various method like single touch method, double touch method, आप इनको permanently magnet में convert कर सकते हैं. And other elements, बराबर जो transition elements है, transition metals है, you can convert them into weak magnet, that is you can convert them into paramagnetic substances. Okay, हमने lower standards में देखा था single touch method of magnetism and double touch method of magnetism. Now this is very important. Each unpaired electron gives rise to a small magnetic field, that is magnetic moment, due to its spin angular momentum and orbital angular momentum. Now what is spin angular momentum and orbital angular momentum? Please observe this diagram. Now when you're talking about an atom, center में nucleus है, electron उसके आजू बाजू में घूम रहा है. Now because the electron is rotating, that is called as spin angular momentum. And because the electron is revolving in an orbit, it is called as orbital angular momentum. So there are two kinds of angular momentums that are being observed, spin and orbital. But हम जब 3D series का बात करते हैं, तो 3D series में orbital angular momentum of electron is negligible. And because its orbital angular momentum is negligible, it is called as quenched. And that is why we take into account is only the spin angular momentum. हम 3D सीरीज का सिर्फ और सिर्फ स्पिन एंगुलर मोमेंटम कंसिडर करते हैं, ऑर्बिटल नहीं कंसिडर करते हैं. बट जब हम 4D सीरीज और 5D सीरीज का बात करते हैं तो उसमें ऑर्बिटल एंगुलर मोमेंटम कंसिडर करना भी जरूरी है. सो दैट इज व्हाई द फॉर्मूला दैट वी विल बी सीइंग नाउ इज एप्लीकेबल ओनली फॉर 3D सीरीज. 4D सीरीज और 5D सीरीज का जो मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट है, इट इज नॉट बीइंग डिस्कस्ड इन दिस चैप्टर. इट इज आउट ऑफ योर सिलेबस. So as you can see now, a single proton, there is electric charge on the surface of the proton, thus creating a small current loop, and it generates a magnetic moment. The proton also has mass, which generates an angular momentum when it is spinning. Thus proton magnet differs from the magnetic bar in that it also possesses angular momentum caused by spinning. So जैसे एक proton है वैसे ही एक electron है. In case of the first row transition elements, the contribution from the orbital angular momentum is quenched and hence it can be neglected. So the spin only formula for magnetic moment is mu is equal to root of n plus 2, the whole root, right? So what is mu? Mu is the magnetic moment and यहाँ पे जो bm है वो उसका unit है, that is called as Bohr magneton. This is the formula, dear students. Now n in the formula is the number of unpaired electrons and mu is the magnetic moment and उसका units जो है जिसको हम express कर रहे हैं, that is Bohr magneton. This is a very important formula and very easy formula to remember. So root of n, n plus 2. So अगर मेरे एटम के पास एक ही सिंगल अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन है, and if I substitute it in this formula, so what do I get? I get 1 in the bracket 1 plus 2, right? So that is what? That is 1 in the bracket 3. 3 1 is 3, so it is root of 3. Root of 3 का आंसर आता है 1.73. So that is the value of Bohr magneton for a single unpaired electron. Okay, this is a very important MCQ question that you can expect in the CET exam as well. Now, from the magnetic moment measurements of the metal complexes of the first row transition elements, the number of unpaired electrons can be calculated with the use of spin only formula. तो spin only formula से definitely हम लोग use कर सकते हैं ये formula को. As magnetic moment is directly related to the number of unpaired electrons, value of mu will vary directly with the number of unpaired electrons. To understand this, we have a table right here. What is given in this sentence? कि जैसे जैसे मेरे अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन चेंज होते जाएंगे वैसे वैसे मेरा मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट भी चेंज होते जाएगा, मेरे म्यू का वैल्यू भी चेंज होते जाएगा. एंड अगर मेरे नंबर ऑफ अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स बढ़ रहे हैं तो बोर मैग्नेटॉन का वैल्यू बढ़ेगा, कम हो रहे हैं तो कम होगा. अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं है तो मेरा मैग्नेटिक फील्ड भी जनरेट नहीं होगा. So this is the table given in your textbook wherein we have taken +3 oxidation state or +2 oxidation state of various elements जिससे हमको आउटर इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में मिल जाएगा. तो सबसे पहले हम स्कैंडियम का बात करते हैं. स्कैंडियम इन +3 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट में 3d 0 हो जाता है. सो उसके पास कोई भी अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन नहीं है तो उसका मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट क्या हो जाएगा? 0. नाउ देयर आर टू टेबल्स हियर, मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट बाय फॉर्मूला एंड मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट वी हैव गॉट बाय एक्सपेरिमेंटल वैल्यूज. Now titanium in +3 oxidation state has 1 unpaired electron. So उसका जो magnetic moment होगा वो कितना होगा? 1.73 and experimentally as well it has found to be 1.75. Same way vanadium, अब number of electrons unpaired electron बढ़ रहे हैं 1 2 3 4 5. Okay, manganese +2 oxidation state में कितने unpaired electron हैं? तो 5. So उसका magnetic moment कितना है? 5.92, which is the highest in the table because it has highest number of unpaired electrons, and its experimental value is also found to be 5.96. So जैसे जैसे मेरा unpaired electron change होगा मेरा magnetic moment का value भी change होगा. Magnetic moments are determined experimentally in solution or in solid state where the central metal is hydrated or bound to ligands. You know ligands, wherein the it has been attached by covalent bond to the other metal atom. A slight difference in the calculated and observed values of magnetic moment thus can be noticed because जब आप ligand से attach करते हैं थोड़ा सा spin और angular moment में change आएगा तो थोड़ा सा experimental value change होता है, बहुत ज्यादा difference नहीं है लेकिन. So there is a sum given in your textbook. देखिए ये जरा, calculate the spin only magnetic moment of a divalent cation of a transition metal with atomic number 25. So if it is atomic number 25, you need not know the name of the element, it is fine, but you should know the electronic configuration. So electronic configuration of atomic number 25 is 3d5 4s2. ठीक है, बट हमको बोला है डाइवैलेंट कैटायन. डाइवैलेंट कैटायन मतलब +2 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट. +2 ऑक्सीडेशन स्टेट मतलब उसने 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन लूज किया है, तो वो कहां से लूज करेगा? तो 4s में से लूज करेगा. तो उसका 4s का 2 इलेक्ट्रॉन चला गया तो 3d में 5 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स कैसे प्लेस्ड होंगे? तो 1 2 3 4 5. दैट इज व्हाई दिस इज मैंगनीज. ओके, सो मैंगनीज के पास 5 अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन है. सो n इज इक्वल टू 5. सो मेरा बोर मैग्नेटॉन का वैल्यू क्या होगा? मेरा मैग्नेटिक मोमेंट कैसे आएगा? द रूट का साइन पूरे रूट में आएगा. रूट ऑफ 5 5 + 2. सो 5 + 2 इज 7. 7 5 is 35. So it is root of 35. सी बच्चा लोग, अगर ये सीईटी में क्वेश्चन आया तो 35 के नजदीक का वैल्यू कौन सा होता है? 36. We all know the root of 36 is 6. So approximately equal to 6 के आजू बाजू में आंसर आएगा. So पूरा कैलकुलेट करने की जरूरत नहीं है आपको ये, तो 6 के नजदीक जो आंसर आपका होगा ना ऑप्शंस में वो आप सिलेक्ट कर सकते हैं. So it is 5.92. That is the nearest value to 6. Okay. Now In second and third transition series, orbital angular moment is significant. फर्स्ट ट्रांजिशन सीरीज में सिग्निफिकेंट नहीं था, बट सेकंड और थर्ड सीरीज में सिग्निफिकेंट है. Therefore, the simple spin only formula is not useful and more complicated equations have to be employed to determine magnetic moments. Okay, that is not there in your syllabus. The magnetic moments, now this is a very important question again for CET that you should remember, that the magnetic moments further are found to be temperature dependent, because the motion of the electron, the motion of the nucleus, it depends upon the temperature. So motion, rotation, spin, angular moment is temperature dependent, and therefore magnetic moment is also dependent on temperature. So dear students, we complete the first topic of today's session, that is the magnetic properties of D block elements. Mind you very well, if you have any doubts, you can ask us in the comment section. Okay? Now moving forward towards the second property, that is the catalytic properties of D block elements. Transition metals and their compounds exhibit good catalytic properties. If everybody remembers, what is a catalyst? हमारा catalyst वो होता है जो मेरा rate of reaction change करता है. ठीक है? What is rate of reaction? In simple words, we can say it is the speed of reaction. Speed of reaction vary कर सकता है, change कर सकता है, उसको हम catalyst बोलते हैं. There are two kinds of catalyst, positive and negative. जो मेरा speed बढ़ाता है, उसको हम लोग positive catalyst बोलते हैं, और जो कम करता है, उसको negative. So definitely ये बहुत सारे transition elements catalytic properties exhibit करते हैं. Why? Main reason is because of their variable oxidation state. They have proved to be good homogeneous and heterogeneous catalyst. Now what is a homogeneous catalyst? अगर मेरा phases जो है वो मेरे catalyst का और मेरे reactants का same है, so it is called as homogeneous catalyst. और अगर मेरा phases जो है, that is simple terms में states, solid state, liquid state, ये सब अगर वो अलग अलग है तो उसको हम लोग बोलेंगे heterogeneous catalyst. It is partly because of their ability to participate in different oxidation reduction steps of catalytic reaction. They form intermediates. Their intermediates can be easily disintegrated. They form unstable intermediates, जो कि catalytic property है. That is why they are all good catalysts. Now, these steps involve changes in the oxidation state of these metal ions. So, compounds of iron, cobalt, nickel, palladium, platinum, chromium are used as catalysts in a number of reactions. Their compounds enhance the rate of the chemical reactions. Rate of chemical reaction is the speed of the reaction. Now, we'll see a diagram of homogeneous and heterogeneous catalyst. In homogeneous catalysis reactions, the metal ions participate by forming unstable intermediates. ये लोग intermediates बनाते हैं. And heterogeneous catalyst reaction में metal जो है वो एक surface provide करता है for the reactants to react because they are in different phases. So here is a picture of homogeneous and heterogeneous catalyst. So यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हैं कि reactants जो है, ये जो मेरा yellow color का है, that is my catalyst. So मेरा जो catalyst है वो reactant जो है वो लोग same phase में है, तो ये लोग सब मिलके एक intermediate बनाएंगे. Intermediate बनने के बाद मेरा catalyst जो है वो separate हो जाएगा और product will be formed. That increases the speed of reaction. In heterogeneous catalysis, my reactants and my catalyst are in different phase. So they get a surface for reacting. The surface for reacting जो है वो उनको एक intermediate बनाएगा और मेरा product बन जाएगा, उन लोग निकल जाएंगे. समझा? पहले adsorb होगा और फिर deadsorption होगा. So that is how homogeneous and heterogeneous catalysts work. Now let us see some of the very famous examples. Now this is very, very important for MCQ question, okay? Manganese dioxide acts as a catalyst for decomposition of potassium chlorate. So this is an experiment that you can see कि यहाँ पे potassium chlorate जो है वो decompose हो रहा है, and यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि manganese dioxide is used as a catalyst, okay? Then in manufacture of ammonia by a very famous process, that is Haber's process, molybdenum or iron is used as a catalyst. So in making ammonia, the Haber's process, you can see here iron is used as a catalyst. Now cobalt and thorium is used in the Fischer-Tropsch process in the synthesis of gasoline. Gasoline is a higher alkane which is also used as a fuel. So यहाँ पे आप देख रहे हैं कि कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड, कार्बन मोनोऑक्साइड, आई एम सॉरी, एंड हाइड्रोजन रिएक्ट करते हैं किसके सरफेस पे? तो आप देख रहे हैं कोबाल्ट एंड आयन है यहाँ पे. ओके, सो कोबाल्ट और आयन का सरफेस है, या आयन एक्ट्स एज अ कैटलिस्ट. सो दीज आर द कैटलिस्ट व्हिच आर यूज्ड. ओके, कोबाल्ट कैटलिस्ट और आयन कैटलिस्ट. सो कोबाल्ट कैटलिस्ट के सरफेस पे हम लोग एक्ट करते हैं, हायर अल्केन में कन्वर्ट होते हैं एंड दे लीव. So that is how gasoline is produced with the help of Fischer-Tropsch process. Now this is a very important process that finally divided nickel, which is formed by the reduction of the heated oxide in hydrogen, is an extremely efficient catalyst in hydrogenation of ethene to ethane. You know, it's a very common process that you have seen in 11th standard syllabus, जहाँ पे हम लोग अल्कीन को अल्केन में कन्वर्ट करते हैं, एक अनसैचुरेटेड हाइड्रोकार्बन को सैचुरेटेड हाइड्रोकार्बन में कन्वर्ट करते हैं with the help of nickel. So this is ethene. इथीन में हाइड्रोजन ऐड करने के लिए we use nickel catalyst. Okay, next, commercial hydrogenation with nickel as a catalyst is used to convert inedible oils into solid fat for the production of margarine. Margarine is a very common butter that is found. Butter थोड़ा costly होता है, margarine थोड़ा cheap होता है. So in this mechanism, nickel is used as a catalyst, wherein the oils are converted to fats. In the contact process of industrial production of sulfuric acid, sulfur dioxide and oxygen from the air react reversibly over a solid catalyst of platinized asbestos. So this is a process in which sulfuric acid is produced, और इस process में हम लोग platinized asbestos use करते हैं. This is the formula of asbestos and platinized. So platinum is used. Platinum is a transition element. Carbon dioxide and hydrogen are formed by the reaction of the carbon monoxide and steam at about 500 degrees Celsius with iron chromium catalyst. So again, iron and chromium are used as a catalyst in this reaction. So all this catalyst ka examples, dear student, is very important for MCQ questions. Now, since we have seen so many properties of D block elements, we are going to revise the properties of D block elements in short. Their physical properties, their chemical properties, their differences. So all D block elements we know now are lustrous and shining. They are all metals. They are hard and have high density. They have high melting point and boiling points. They are good electrical and thermal conductors, that is heat conductors. They have high tensile strength, that is load bearing capacity, and they are malleable. They can form alloys with transition and non-transition elements. Many metals and their compounds are paramagnetic, that is they are weakly magnetic. Some are ferromagnetic as well, and some of the elements like gold are diamagnetic as well. It all depends upon the number of unpaired electrons. Most of the metals are efficient catalysts. We have seen just now heterogeneous catalyst, homogeneous catalyst. Next is their chemical properties. So all D block elements are electropositive metals, that is they are going to lose electrons. They exhibit variable valencies and form colored salts and complexes. They are mostly colored because of unpaired electrons once again and DD transition. They are good reducing agents wherein they lose electron. They form insoluble oxides and hydroxides. Iron, cobalt, copper, molybdenum and zinc are biological important metals that are also found in human body, and they are used to catalyze biological reactions like various cycles that are going in the human body, that are going on in the biological processes. बहुत सारी ये cycles में ये सारे elements use होते हैं. Now the differences. Although most properties exhibited by D block elements are similar, the elements of first row differ from the second and the third row in stabilization of higher oxidation state in their compounds. Now there are some elements of D block, that is 3D series, 4D series, 5D series में हर एक के अपने अपने higher oxidation state है. Like 3D series का highest oxidation state is +7. नीचे आप जाएंगे तो highest oxidation state हो जाता है +8. Okay. So example molybdenum जो कि 5th oxidation state में है, and wolfram that is tungsten जो oxidation 6 में है, they are more stable than chromium in oxidation 6 and manganese in oxidation 8, +8. So highest oxidation state for elements of first row is +7, and in third row it is +8 for ruthenium and osmium. So these are some of the differences in higher oxidation state that are exhibited by the D block elements. So friends, we have seen up till now is almost all the properties of D block elements. Now one topic of D block elements and properties is left, that is why their compounds are colored, which we'll be seeing in the next session. So please, if you have any doubts, ask in the comment section, read the textbook once, and stay at home, stay safe. Jai Hind.